responsibility of leading this school system. When Dr. Witherspoon first got here, even before he arrived, I had some questions about his ability, the process by which he was selected, and I made a comment about it. And later on, when I talked to him directly, I apologized for making that comment, and I indicated to him that I would work with him and support him in his initiatives, because my commitment was not to Dr. Witherspoon, was not to the board members, but to the children of this school system. We have had instability down through the years. Sometimes it's been because of petty reasons, sometimes it's been because of legitimate reasons. Someone asked the other day, well, you know, Mr. Mayor, were you out at the rally the other day? I wasn't physically there, but I had my spirit and people there. I don't come to this board meeting. This is my first board meeting in several months. I think the last time I was here, I don't recall. But I try not to interfere with the operations of what you're trying to do. But let me just say briefly, in 1995, I went to a meeting about the economic health of this region. A study was done by a group out of Colorado. And they said that the one thing that was holding this entire region back, keeping it from being in the top 3 or 4 cities in the Southeast, was the education system. The mayor Hoover stood up and said, wait a minute, hold it, we got one of the best school systems, how can you say that? Mayor Mountain Brook said the same thing, and Hoover, I can't think of the mayor's name at the time, but he got up and said, no, people are trying to break their neck to move into Homewood for our education system. And the consultant said, let me correct that. The one thing that's holding this entire region back, the entire region, is the Birmingham school system. This was in 1995. Later on that day, I went out to George Washington Carver School. The school had flooded, and Mr. Deborah, who was the principal at the time, showed me a closet full of brand new computers that he could not connect up to his school system because of the faulty electrical system. And I said, how can we give our kids a good education if they're in dilapidated buildings that are being flooded out? Many of you know the Bell Plan, and I don't talk about the Bell Plan. Y'all ran me out of office because of the Bell Plan. But it was the very first new school in over 50 years that had been built. And George Washington Carver, that same school that had flooded, was the school that was built to be replaced. My commitment is there. The school system, every school that has been built, with the exception of the last 2 high schools, were built with funds from the Bell Plan. Then Mayor Langford, as a county commission, passed another program in which he put a 1-cent sales tax in place. Now, I know each and every one of you. Some of you, I believed in you, but no one else would. I encourage you to go forward and put your name out there. Others with you, I worked in capacities as neighborhood leaders. I worked in capacities as business people in this community. I'm saying that if we continue with instability, we're going to continue with an outgoing exodus of people who don't want to be a part of this school system. I'm heartened by the fact that we have both black and whites come before us to say that they support the superintendent. I'm proud of the fact that we have both blacks and whites who want to be a part of something good, not something negative, something good. And that's what we need to be striving for. And if we continue to stand in the way of any superintendent, whether it's Dr. Witherspoon or any other superintendent that comes in here, then we're not going to give them the opportunity to show us what they really have. Just like I made that comment about Dr. Witherspoon before he even arrived. That was wrong. That was wrong. Because it set the tone of our position. But give him his head. And if he does not turn the school system around, then we have no one to blame but Dr. Witherspoon. Amen. But if we continue to interfere, interrupt, and not stay in our lane, which I try to do as mayor, stay in my lane, then if he leaves or anyone else comes and goes, then we'll all be blamed for that. I just ask for stability. I ask for the time necessary to move this system forward. And yes, we have some people in here who are for charter schools. I am not for charter schools. I voiced that. I am not for charter schools. But you're going to have differences of opinion. But at the end of the day, this body will make that decision. Not the state superintendent, not the legislature. This body will make that decision. And I only ask that you give Dr. Witherspoon an opportunity to live up to the commitment that he's made to move this city forward. Thank you.
Thank you.